Yeah, really.
Do you know?
Leave me alone.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming. Thanks for waiting. I'm going to bring up Chief John Meza to the podium. Obviously, you're aware we're talking about a pretty severe child abuse case this morning. Chief's going to bring you up to speed on the details that we have at this point. He's not going to go into all the nitty-gritty specifics. We're going to give you all a copy of the Form 4 if you don't already have it, photograph, and whatnot from there. So without further ado, Chief John Meza.
Thank you, Steve, and thank you all for being with us this morning. I want to go over a case that we worked yesterday and into actually this morning. I'm going to read most of it just so I get all the facts. This is really one of the worst cases that we've worked in quite a while, and I just want to make sure we get it right. On January 18th of this year, yesterday at 7:54, Mesa Police received a phone call for call for service to the apartment at 655 South Mesa Drive. The responding party stated that he met a male online and agreed to have sex with the male at his apartment. When the responding party arrived, he noticed a bad odor coming from the apartment. He was greeted by a male known as 30-year-old Francisco J. Rios Corubias, and I'll refer to him from here on as the suspect. The responding party entered and noticed a small child bound and gagged with duct tape around her hands and mouth. The child was being kept inside a closet of the apartment. The suspect asked the responding party if he wanted to have sex with the child. The responding party became upset and left the apartment. Shortly after, the responding party returned back to the apartment and had consensual sex with the adult male, but he did not see the child in the apartment at that time. He left and then called the police. When officers arrived back to the scene, they eventually made contact with our suspect. They entered the apartment and they located a 3-year-old child inside a black trash bag covered to her forehead. When officers went in, all they saw was the top of the child's head in the trash bag. The child had duct tape over her mouth, around her arms, her hands, and legs. The child was in terrible condition. She was covered in feces, wearing a diaper and T-shirt, and the officers were able to remove the duct tape, and the child was transported to the hospital immediately. The child was forensically examined, and many bruises, scratches, and blisters were observed on her body. The level of neglect was so harsh she could not stand on her own. She was later admitted to the hospital. Attempts to interview the child were unsuccessful as of this point because she is not verbal to investigators. The suspect was interviewed by detectives and confessed to duct taping the child, and he said he did it because he wanted to have sexual encounters with other people that he had met online and wanted to keep her quiet. He told investigators the child was making too much noise, so he put her in the closet. The suspect provided no explanation to the physical marks on the child. He stated the child belonged to a friend he has known for a short time, and he later identified the mother as 21-year-old Myra Solis. The suspect was babysitting the child while Myra worked, but admitted to leaving the child for several hours in the apartment while he was also at work, leaving the child alone. Investigators later located and contacted the mother. She was interviewed and confirmed the female child was hers. She admitted to leaving the child with Francisco for days at a time in the past month. The mother said she would see the child one day a week, and she knew her child was left alone for several hours throughout the day while the suspect worked. The mother admitted to knowing about the injuries on the child's genital areas, but did not seek treatment. She could not provide an explanation on the additional injuries throughout the child's body. She had believed the victim had fallen. The mother also admitted to shaving the child's head for purposes of pandering money, claiming her daughter had cancer. The suspect, Francisco, was booked on sex trafficking, kidnapping, sex conduct with a minor, and child abuse. The mother, Myra, was booked on child abuse. This case is one of the most disturbing incidents that we have seen in quite a while. Officers who responded to the scene were troubled by the conditions and having to witness this. And without delay, we have resources for them also. And we want to make certain all individuals who commit these monstrous crimes will be arrested. The innocence of a child will not be ignored. And I just want to say, this is one of those cases that really just shocks the soul. It brings to light the efforts that we need to continue on sex trafficking. It's a problem that exists. We currently did, last couple of weeks, we did a child prostitution operation where we arrested 9 suspects who were looking to have sex with minors. It's going to take continued collaboration between police agencies. Our agency currently has reallocated resources to start concentrating on sex trafficking investigations and operations, but that's really just the beginning. We need to continue to look at additional resources to combat this. And this case is a combination of just evilness, but also the fact that the suspect had offered up this child to the person who called to have sex with. I want to thank all the officers and staff from the Mesa Police Department for working this case all day yesterday into tonight or this morning to make sure that this child predator was taken into custody and justice will be served. Go take your questions.
Sir, did he sexually abuse that little girl?
He was charged with sexual abuse. Yes, Abby.
Did he think he admitted to that?
Where's our investigators? You want to come and answer the details of that?
He did not admit to the committing the sexual abuse. Injuries were noted in the forensic examination that indicated the injury was within the time period that he had sole custody of the child. But he did not admit to causing the injury or to any type of sexual abuse.
Did the mom know that she was being sexually abused?
No, she did not, or at least she did not admit to that.
Do you know for how long of a window this arrangement was going on for?
The indications that we have, what we were able to pull from the investigation is that it was an immediate thing, that it happened roughly at about 7 a.m. yesterday morning, and we were contacted within the hour. So it was a very short window.
So this wasn't like months
No.
this was going on. This was a day.
That's correct.
Can you talk about some of the resources that are available for officers? This is obviously very traumatic, especially being on scene.
Yeah, we have called our peer team, which are officers that are specially trained to help with our officers at a peer capacity. We also have counseling services that are available within the department for officers that may have need a little additional resources than just a peer officer. But it's a combination. Our officer wellness Bureau is fully involved in this, and we'll make sure that officers get the resources they need. You know, it's very difficult, and it affects each officer differently. And the importance is to recognize that you may be going through some trauma or that you need to talk to somebody. And really the number one thing is to talk to somebody and evaluate yourself and to get, you know, the kind of help that you may need at whatever level that is.
How's the little girl doing this morning?
Still in the hospital, but in fair condition.
The individual that originally called police, did he say why he didn't call police right away and decided to go back and have sex with this individual and then call police instead of trying to help his child right away?
The suspect had told him that the mother had picked her up. So why he did not call the police in the first place is really not known. But the suspect did tell him that the child was gone, so that's why he went back. And that's when he realized that the child was still there.
Obviously, the little girl is not in a good place, a very traumatic experience. But did doctors say anything as far as the level of abuse that this girl suffered, and will she recover?
You know, I can't comment on her recovery, but she was in very bad condition, malnutrition, you know, very malnutrition, and the bruising, the scratches, and just, you know, I don't want to get into the details of her condition, but it's very serious.
Is anyone else going to face charges in connection to this case? Maybe the gentleman who was there and was the first witness to report this, did he face charges? Is there anyone else implicated in this, as you know?
You know, the investigation is ongoing, so we are looking at all aspects of anybody that may be responsible, but as of right now, it's just the suspect and the mother who have been charged.
And so have you found anything in the apartment that might be illegal or suspect?
There were several items that were confiscated in the apartment to include computers and physical evidence, so we will continue to look at that to see if there's anybody else that will be brought to justice.
Was this man a sex offender previously? Was he in the system or anything?
No record of sex offenses that we have discovered at this point.
And just to clarify, the girl was dropped off previously at this house, and because we had heard that she was in there possibly for days at times, locked in this closet, but the sexual abuse would only have happened in one day. Is that what's going on?
She had been dropped off at that house previously. The suspect had agreed to watch her at times for the mother while she worked. The sexual abuse that has been charged today was just for yesterday. We obviously it's an ongoing investigation, so we're going to see was there possible abuses in the past. But as of right now, he's only being charged for what occurred yesterday.
And do we know how long the mother and this man had this relationship for, where he would drop the kid off at her house?
Chuck, do you know how long they were together?
Approximately a month.
Approximately a month. Yeah.
Do we know what the suspect and the mom did for a living?
You want to comment on that?
The suspect, he works for El Pollo Loco, a local business here, and the male suspect, and the mother, the female suspect, works for Taco Bell at another local business here in the valley.
And she's homeless?
Yes, that's correct.
You said previously there was already a child ring bust already, like 6 individuals. Was this child possibly a victim of any of those cases?
No, the previous arrest that I talked about in the child prostitution operation that we did has no relation to this case, but the circumstances of those individuals seeking to have sex with children, and in this case a child was offered for that, are the similarities. It just focuses on the problem that we have.
When you guys obtained warrants to go through the computers and his computers and stuff like that, do you think there may be other suspects out there that possibly abused this child?
And that's why it's a continuing investigation. We're going to look at all aspects of that to see if there are any other potential suspects or if there was any additional abuses on the child. We are looking into that.
Do you have anything right now that would lead you to believe that is the case?
As of right now, no, but we will definitely do everything we can to see and make sure that it's not.
Any indication that drugs could be involved in this?
There was a small amount of methamphetamine found in the house, so I would say yes.
Has CPS done something? Do they know about the mother? Has there been any investigation prior to this incident being found out?
As of we know right now, DCS did not have a case on the folks involved, but they are definitely involved now.
Will this child be able to go to other family members, or is the child going to be strictly in DDS custody?
As of right now, the child's in DCS custody. I don't know the status of where the child will be put afterwards, but right now, DCS custody.
Any criminal history on both?
Some minor with the mother, a shoplifting with the suspect, failure to provide identification, so no extensive criminal history.
And what is your department doing to combat cases like this?
Like I said, and Assistant Chief Mike DeVore may want to comment on this, we just recently have reallocated existing resources within our advocacy center to concentrate on sex trafficking, human trafficking, specific operations in conjunction with the Hickey Foundation to do some undercover work to start battling this issue that really our whole state is faced with. All right, thank you so much for coming, and we'll be available.
Can we get the detective's name that spoke to this?
This is